Hello, my name is Annette, and I am one of the librarians here at Touro University. We work on Long Island here at the Health Sciences Library. We are going to be your primary librarians. We're going to be helping you, and I understand you are remote virtual learners, but that's okay. We can help you. So I'm going to show you how to access the library from the Touro, Illinois homepage. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is I just want to show you, just go to Google and then you can search for Touro, Illinois. Okay, Touro University, Illinois, you should be familiar with this page. You can click there and it'll take you right to your homepage. Okay, so where do you find the library on here? What you're going to do is you're going to go to the top here in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to see current students. Click on current students. And to find the library, we're right here under student services here. You're going to find library down here. Click on the library. And this is going to take you to the Touro library homepage for New York. Okay, now from this, you're going to have to go into Illinois to use your resources. But from the New York page here, you can get certain questions answered, primarily about your staff and locations and hours, and also to reach a librarian for help. So up here in the upper left-hand corner here, you're going to see locations and hours. Okay, click on that. And these are the campuses that we have. Now, any of the librarians in New York can help you. But what you may want to do is come immediately down here to Long Island, okay, because we are the health sciences library out here on Long Island. So we specialize in physician's assistant programs and other health sciences programs. So the phone number here, you can write us if you want. Our address is here, but the phone number here, if you want to reach us, is right here. You want to give us a call. These are the hours that we are available. And keep in mind, this is Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to reach us individually, if you go to more information here, what you're going to see is the name of the staff. Okay, so I'm Annette Carr here, and this is my email and extension. If you want to reach me, you can reach out to Christine Letty, Gabrielle, she's on Sundays only, or Kelly Tenne. This is all our staff here. Ryan is our library assistant, but he doesn't really answer reference questions. So you can contact the four of us, and on Sunday, Gabrielle's available. So reach out to us if you need any help. Okay, on the upper, if you want to go back to the homepage of Touro College New York Library, just click on the Touro University Libraries here in the upper left-hand corner. It'll take you back to the homepage of New York here. So another feature you can have here, you can log into your Touro One account from this page. You can also log into Canvas from this page. And right here, questions. Now, if you have questions that you would like answered, but you don't want to call us, you can chat 24/7. This opens a chat feature. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You might not get a librarian who's health sciences. You might not get one of us. You may get another librarian from New York, which is fine. They can help you. You may get after hours, you may get a librarian who doesn't work for Touro at all. They work at another university. And again, they can try to help you. So that is a feature you have if you prefer chat. And if you go here, you can email us if you want, but I prefer to just have you reach out by telephone. Again, if you reach out by phone, here's the phone list here. And as I said, any of the New York librarians can help you, but you'll probably want to talk directly with the Health Sciences Library. And here's our phone number, or go to more information. And here's our direct extensions. Okay, we're going to go back to the home page now, and I'm going to show you how to log into the Touro University, Illinois library, because right now we're at New York, so we have to go through that portal. Okay, so from this point here, what we're going to do is we're going to log into Touro University, Illinois library. That's different than Touro University, New York. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is this login button here, this blue login button, you're going to click on the blue login button. And you're going to come to this page. It's going to ask you how you'd like to sign in. Okay, you're going to sign in with your Touro One credentials. So access with your Touro One credentials, sign into the Touro College University system, okay? Don't worry about these other two. They don't pertain to you. So you're going to click there. And it's going to open up this page that's familiar with you. You're going to log in the same way you log into your portal. Okay, so you're going to log in with your username and password that you're going to use for logging into Touro 1. Okay, push notification. Okay, everybody has a push notification. That's part of the security here at Touro. Now I'm in, and now I'm going to be in Touro University, Illinois. Okay, so it should say Touro University, Illinois up here. That's how you know that you're in the Touro University, Illinois library and you're not in New York anymore. Okay, so these databases here, this is the home page for the library here, the virtual library. You have 66 databases. Okay, so these databases have various functions. So there's some that are for anatomy physiology. There are some that are video. There are some that you can do article research on. So I'm going to show you the various ways and the different tools that you can use that will help you in your studies. So the database I'm going to be showing you right now in this chapter is Access Medicine. Access Medicine is a fantastic database for students. It contains a lot of textbooks that are very helpful to you in your studies. It also contains a lot of study tools that you'll need, like flashcards, videos. So let's scroll down here. So we're at Touro University, Illinois. That's where you're starting from. Okay, and if you scroll down here, Access Medicine is the 5th one down. Right here, so we can click on Access Medicine. And it's going to open the database up for you. This is what it looks like. So you should see Welcome Touro University. You're going to say Illinois on New York, okay? But it should say Touro University. The first thing that you're going to want to do in order to use all the tools available in this database is create a personal profile. So up here in the upper right-hand corner here where it says My Profile, you're going to want to tap down on the pull-down menu, and it says sign in or create free access profile. Okay, this is different than the login you use to log into Touro 1 or log into Touro University, Illinois Library. So you have to create a personal access for this particular database. So very easy to do, free. Okay, you just click on it, and you would go here to create free access profile. I already have a profile, so I'm just going to log in. Okay, so I logged in, so you're going to see up here that my profile changed to my name. That's how I know that I'm logged in and I have access to all the features of this site. Now, where do I go from here? Well, like I said, if this database has a lot of textbooks you can use. So if you go over here to Books, you can pull down the menu here, and it breaks it down by various subjects. So if you go to View All, okay, pulls up at the top some of the most popular ones. Okay, so Harrison's Principles of Internal Medicine and Current Medical Diagnostics and Treatment. Those are very popular textbooks that you can look through. But on the left-hand side, again, they break it down by subject. So let's suppose I'm going to be looking at dermatology. Okay, so I can click on dermatology, and it'll pull up the textbooks that we have on dermatology here. So there's 6 of them. Okay, so I'm going to look at these. So I'm going to look at, let's see this one, Fitzpatrick's Color Atlas and Synopsis. So I'm going to click on it. Okay, so what we have here is we have the title, the author, we have the cover page, and we also have, citation information. This is more interesting to librarians than it is to students on the left-hand side here. What you're interested in here is the chapters. So if you click on Show Chapters, it'll open up the chapters for you, so you can look that way. The other thing that you can do is you can click on a chapter here. So I'm going to click on eczema dermatitis. Why not? And once I click on it, it'll open the chapter to me. Okay, a nice feature about Access Medicine is that it does have a listen button. So if you're like me and you like to be read to rather than read, it is a nice feature to have it. It's kind of a computery voice, but it's, I prefer it over reading. So you can go through here and suppose I want to look at acute irritant contact dermatitis. I can open that chapter up. And it also gives me some pictures here. Okay. Another way, if you're somebody who likes to look at pictures as well, if you go to Figures, and this says here full chapter, but if you go to Figures, okay, that'll open up the figures for you. So if you can look at pictures, if you're somebody who's a visual learner like me, you learn by seeing, this may be a very helpful tool for you to use, so you can actually see what various conditions look like. And to the right of that are tables. Okay, so for instance, if you want to look at common irritants, okay, this should be a table where it will tell you what the common irritants are that creates contact dermatitis. Or we can look at most common allergens. Again, nickel. Okay, well, I'm allergic to nickel. That's how I know it. So these are some of the common ones as well. Okay, so that's how you look in a specific book. Now, let's suppose that we want to look at a topic in a book, but we don't really know where to find it. So I know that I want to look at a book on neurology. I'm going to be looking up narcolepsy, okay? So I'm going to go to neurology, and I can pick one of these books and see what, let's try current. We can try that. And I'm going to search for, again, narcolepsy. Okay, it's going to search the whole textbook for it. And again, this is anytime the word narcolepsy is used in the book, it's highlighted, and I can go to that. I can click on that chapter, and it'll take me to the highlighted word. Okay, so that's one way of being able to search within a book for a specific topic. Now, let's suppose you don't want to search within one book. You want to search across the spectrum, okay, of all the books in the databases. So how can you do that? So if you go back to Access Medicine here, you can always go back to the home page here by clicking on Access Medicine. Now, what we can do is here we can put in narcolepsy. And we can do a keyword search here. And what this is going to do is it's going to search the entire database, all the books, all the images, all of the tables, okay? And it's going to put it here for you. So we have 304 results for narcolepsy, okay? And over here on the left-hand side, you can see what they are. So we have book chapters. So let's suppose we want to strictly look at book chapters, okay? So we can click on that. And these are all the book chapters for you. There's 212. So again, you can just click on the title, and it will open the chapter for you and take you right to the page where narcolepsy is mentioned. Sometimes you may get lucky. Sometimes you may get lucky enough to have an entire book on a topic. So for instance, if you were searching for neurology, okay, narcolepsy, we just had chapters of books. So neurology, we may get entire textbooks, which is very helpful since it's a more broad topic. Okay, so on the left-hand side here, we've got book chapters. We've got about 15,000 book chapters. That the word is used 15,000 times in book chapters across the spectrum of books in this database. So we have 4 textbooks, though, that are strictly on neurology. So we can, if we want to just see if we can narrow it down to just having textbooks that are just on that specific topic, we can do it that way. So this is a great tool to use as far as books go, and helpful in the search. Okay, so that's books over here. That's what we were looking at. So let's go over here now to study tools, because we have some study tools that can really help you guys out. So flashcards, some people find these very, very useful for study tools. So if I go to my flashcards list here and I go to view all, okay, let's suppose I'm going to use, let's do physiology flashcards. Okay, and I'm going to use the endocrine system. Okay, so what we have here is we have the front of the card and we have the back of the card. So here we have, when does GH typically get secreted? I don't even know what that is, but you guys probably know. And then I can look at the back of the card here, and it'll give me the answer. And once I do that, my flashcard, I can go over here to the left-hand side and click the arrow to the next flashcard. And it'll get the second flashcard. How is cortisol transported in the plasma? Again, back of the card. You can go back and you can either click on the card itself, or you can go back and forth at the top here between the card front and card back. Up to you. But some people find flashcards very useful. I personally don't use them to study, but some people think that they're fantastic. So it's an option, okay? One thing that helps some of us, this is how I tend to learn, is infographics. Very helpful if you're somebody who needs visual pictures while learning. So if I click on psychiatry here, Okay. I can get a very synopsis that helps me as a launching point for studying. Anorexia nervosa. This gives me so that I can I can see this infographic in the future that helps me learn about various afflictions. So that's infographics. Some people learn very well that way. Interactive models. Okay, that's the third column here. So human anatomy interactive 3D model. So what this can do is give us 3D models of the various parts of the body. So for instance, let's look at focused anatomy module. And I'm going to look at dermatology again. Okay, I thought that was interesting. And I'm going to go over here, acne. I'm going to have a tour of acne. Okay. So what it's going to do is it's going to load up an infographic here. And it's going to talk a little bit about acne. And I can zoom in on this. I can turn it around and flip it around. But more than that, what I can do is I can get an idea. I can click on here and I can define what various items are on this infographic, on this cross section. So here, if I click here, that's going to tell me that's oil. This is going to tell me that this is hair. Down here, this is going to be subcutaneous fat. Okay, so we got definitions here. And like I said, the nice thing is that you're able to move this around and get a 3D image. You can zoom out, zoom in. Okay, some people find this very if you're a visual learner like I am, this is very, very helpful. Okay. The rest of these two I'll back burner for now. The next thing I want to show you is we're going to leave study tools. We're going to go to video and audio. You click on this and you scroll down, you're going to see there's various videos on topics. You have lectures. What students tend to like the most is physical exam videos. So for instance, dermatology, we were looking at that. So if you click on a dermatology exam video, what it's going to do is it's going to show you an exam taking place between a doctor and a patient. Okay, so here it is. So what I can do is I can click on the video. And I'm going to mute the sound so you don't have to listen to these people, but I'm going to play. Okay, and this is the video here. Okay, so some people find this very helpful to have somebody demonstrate to them how to conduct various physical exams on people. So this is one option you have. We have other physical exam video databases that I'll show you later, but this is just the one in Access Medicine that a lot of students find useful. Okay. And again, you have procedural videos as well. Let's go here, dermatology. Okay. If you don't want a physical exam video, this is how you do various here, ingrown toenail removal. If you want to look at it, I don't know. But you can watch a video on how to do that. So that is the video and audio content section of Access Medicine. Now, the next thing we're going to look at here are cases. So if I pause this and then I'm going to go to cases, this is where you can look at various case studies that are happening. So go to view all. And on the left-hand side here, this opens and closes. So we have basic science, case studies, we have clinical medicine. So let's suppose I want to look at psychiatry. Okay, I'm doing clinical medicine. I want a case study in psychiatry. So I can click on psychiatry. And let's suppose I want to look at schizophrenia, see what a case study looks like on that. So here's the case, a 26-year-old man with a medical skill, blah, blah, blah. So what you can do is you can read through the case here. There's some questions, the answer. If you click on show answers, okay, the answers will appear, okay, for the analysis. And then it goes through clinical approach and then clinical pearls and then case quiz. So case studies help a lot of people out when they're in their training. So it's a lot to take in, but this is Access Medicine. So again, log in with create a personal user ID for this database. And if you have any questions, just reach out to one of the librarians here in New York. We'll help you out. So in this chapter, I'm going to be showing you Anatomy TV Primal Pictures. Anatomy TV is a great resource for people studying anatomy and physiology. So if you start here at Touro College, Illinois page, and you're going to scroll down, it should be, under Access Medicine here. It's all alphabetical. So Anatomy TV Primal Pictures, that's what you're going to want to use. So click on that. And we're going to open up here. Okay, a tutorial does pop up, but you don't necessarily need to go through the tutorial. So I'm just going to hide that. Now, what we have here is we have on the left-hand side, we have our various products that we use for Anatomy TV. So the best way I tell students to use this is just to start experimenting with it, because it's really learning by doing. So for instance, if I'm studying anatomy and physiology and I want to learn about the knee, okay, what I can do is I could start here in 3D Atlas. Okay, there's various systems of the body here and structures. So I'm going to go to the knee, and if I click on the knee, a pop-up is going to come up showing the knee, and I'm just going to maximize my screen here. Tutorials on the right-hand side of the screen if you get lost or you need some more information. Now, the nice thing about this feature in Anatomy TV is that you can rotate, okay, your structure that you're looking at. So if I'm looking at the knee, I can rotate it around 360 degrees so I can see the front and the back. Okay, so I can do that down here with these arrows, or I can just slide. Another thing I can do is I can maximize, so I can zoom in or I can zoom out. I can switch from left to right if I want to do that. Or I can switch from up, down, or down, up. A nice feature over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see 10. Now that's layers, okay? So for instance, this is too complicated. I just want to look at the bones. I don't want to look at muscles and tendons. So if I downgrade here, if I press the down arrows, it's going to start removing structures from the knee. And this is going to allow me to see the bare bones of the knee. So when I come down to level 1 here, okay, I'm just going to have the bare bones. So I click here. It's going to show the patella. And on the right-hand side here, it's going to talk about the patella. Okay, if I want to learn about the femur, same thing. And if I want to go in here and see these, the medial condyle, okay? So if this is another part of the knee that I want to learn about. So I can rotate 360 degrees. I can add layers, okay? So I can read here the femur, okay, the patella. I can spin around and read about some of these other areas in the back of the knee here, these regions of the bone, okay, the fibula neck. Okay, I can add layers. So I'm just looking at the bones here, but I'm going to add another layer, okay? So I'm going to look at here at the attachments for the tibialis posterior. And, okay, I want to add some more layers. What do we have here? We've got cartilage, okay? I can add cartilage. And now I'm adding ligaments, okay? I can zoom in on these ligaments here. The meniscus, I can add more here. So you can see you can kind of build up on the skeleton here and see the different structures and rotate it around to get a full 3D view and be able to build on your model. So I'm going to go all the way up here. Now we got blood vessels here. You can read about the various blood vessels. And we can go all the way up to nerves, veins, and eventually the lymph system. And we can just keep building on top of this. And we can also just keep deleting from it as well. So this is a good way for you to build a skeleton and see how things work together. So that's the knee over here. Okay, on the left, you can also do a close-up. So these are various views of the knee. So you can start with the close-up of the knee. And again, it spins, and you can various nerves here that you can look at. You can take those away, okay, depending on what layers you want. So you can get a good look into here. And so we have these various views that you can use just for the knee. Okay, surface features. Okay, if we scroll down here, surface anatomy. Okay, how things look on the surface, not inside, but on the exterior here. So various locations around the knee. Dermatomes, okay. Those interested in nerves. Okay, what nerves control what areas. Cutaneous distribution. Okay, bone regions, it'll break down into that on them. So if you want to look at the patella more closely, okay, you can look at the patella over here, and again, you can add layers to it, or some of them. See the femur, we can add a few layers here so you know what areas of the bone specifically are being talked about. And then the nervous system. Okay, this is where we talk about the nerves from the spine that control the region. So we can build on our skeleton here to see what nerves are going to influence our knee. Okay, so that is, if you go up here on the top, that's the 3D views, okay? If you go once down here on the left-hand side, okay, imaging. So if you want to look at this as through the view of an MRI, you can do that. We have 3 views. We have the axial, sagittal, and coronal. So if I click on the axial mode, okay, this is a view of an MRI, what a knee looks like. So, and you have your model on the left-hand side here. So you can click on between the MRI to see how things look on the MRI versus how they look on the model. Okay, anatomy slides, people find this very useful. So for instance, we're going to look at the slide for the knee joint. So it's just a breakdown of various areas. You can click on it again, and on the right-hand side, it's going to go into more detail. We have MRI, cadaver knee slides. We looked at those before, if those are helpful to you. And we also have clinical slides. So these are cadaver slides. Some of them are MRIs. So for instance, this is an ACL, a rupture of the ACL. So over here on the right-hand side, it's going to describe what you're looking at. Here looks like a cadaver slide. So you can go in and look at various images. If you're somebody who's like a visual learner, this can help you a lot. Dissection slides. Okay, this is where they have a cadaver, because sometimes, you know, what they show you on the image doesn't look like what it looks like in real life on a cadaver if you have to point out these structures. So it shows it to you on a cadaver so you know what you're looking at when you're looking at identifying parts on the cadaver. And we have various types over here. So you can, again, click on what structure am I looking at. On the right-hand side, it'll give you the description. And then we have the MRI. So this is a slices that slices through the MRI. So you can see various pictures from the MRI and what it looks like as it goes through. And then underneath that, so that is the slides portion. Underneath that, we have movies. Okay, so we have biomechanical videos here. So if you click on the little movie icon here, you have biomechanical videos. This is going to show you how the knee joint moves, for instance. So here we go here. I don't know what this motion is, but if you click here, it's going to show you how the knee joint moves in a certain area. This is the tibiofemoral joint motion, anterior view patellum removed. So you can also see a heat-sensitive view of PCL inflection. Okay. So I'm not a PA person, but I don't know what I'm looking at exactly. But, you know, this will help you in your studies if you, you know, want to see how various parts of the body move. They also have surface anatomy movies. This may help you if you're somebody who wants to look at human models display certain things. You want to know what it looks like when an actual patient displays a problem to you. It's out. Okay, that was 3D Atlas. That was this product here. We went to knee, just so you don't get lost, because sometimes you can get lost in this, but that's okay. There's always interesting things to look at. So we looked at 3D Atlas. Now there's next product here is 3D real time. You can either scroll down to it or just click here. And this just gives you a little bit more in-depth analysis of certain bodily areas. So here we go. Again, I'm going to go to the knee because that's what we were looking at. I'm going to expand my screen here because the tutorial, you want to look at the tutorial. And here we start with my knee. Now, the nice thing about this is that I can turn this around in all different planes. So this is 3-dimensional, which some people find frustrating, some people find very nice. But if you ever get lost and you're kind of upside down, you can always go here to home all, and what that'll do is it'll reset the knee for you. On the right-hand side here, if you want to click on a certain region of the knee and want an explanation, so here I clicked on the femur, you go over here, the bones highlighted here, so I can open that up and I can see the bones. Now I can also build my skeleton here. So for instance, I want to add some arteries. So if I want to add the femoral artery and the other arteries around here, now I've built my arteries around and I can see how it goes through. And if I click on them, again, it pops up and I can view it from there. Again, I'm going to go to my home here. So I can also take my arteries away if I want to just take away the whole circulatory system here and I want to go to the nerves. I can click on nerves and I can build my nervous system as well. And again, I can get explanations as to what everything is. Okay, so that's on the right-hand side of the screen. That's how you can build your model layer up and layer down using various layers of the body here. On the left-hand side here, we have some more slides. If you're somebody who likes slides, we have the dissection of the cadaver here. And we have the cadaver over here on the left, what their slide looks like. You can blow it up a bit more. You have this feature here where you can move them side to side to each other. And you can display on your model over here, if you click on a certain muscle group, it should highlight on the cadaver as well so that you can compare and contrast what you're looking at. And I'm going to go over here to, I can always change my my view over here on the left. So we have various types of slides for cadavers. So, you know, pick which one you find the most helpful. Again, if you're a visual learner, this is a great tool to use. Okay. Okay, so that is 3D real time. The next chapter you have here, you can either click here on anatomy and physiology or just scroll down. So this is going to animate certain areas of the body and certain functions. So for instance, if I want to have more of an animation in-depth view of the nervous system, I'm going to click on the nervous system. Okay, and it's going to show me the entire bodily nervous system, but I can build and see that in the 3D model. So I'm going to look at, for instance, over here on the left-hand side, it has the various topics that I can look at. So I'm going to look at nervous tissue because I want to learn more about the nervous, the neurons. So I'm going to zoom in. And what is this? So I can click here and I can read about the nodes of Ranvier. I can read about the myelin sheath on the right-hand side. So I can break down the various parts of the neuron, and that helps me, you know, with various parts of the body that I'm trying to get more in-depth study on. Also over here, I can show you like the synapse, for instance, if you're kind of wanting to see how a synapse works, you can again click on various parts of the synapse, and it's going to show you different neurochemicals and different channels. Okay, so again, just go through and play with this. It's you know, a lot of people find this a lot of fun to use for the first time. Okay, so that's anatomy and physiology. We look at the nervous system. You can look at all these other systems here. It's very interesting. So functional anatomy and therapy. Okay, so this is going to allow you to view how the body moves in motion. So for instance, if you click on functional anatomy here and open up here, and okay, this is what we've had before. We've had slides and movies and surface anatomy movies and, you know, functional movies and everything else. So you can go through that again. We've seen that before, but what you really want to see here is this guy running. If you click on that, what you're going to see is various motor movements. So for instance, if you want to see what muscles are used in walking, okay, you can play the clip and it'll show the various muscles in walking, and you can identify the various muscles. So you want to know what this muscle is that's walking here, the tibius anterior, okay. So this helps, particularly those studying, you know, exercise and physical therapy. This helps a lot. Walking upstairs, same thing. You want to see the various muscles that are involved in that. So that is functional anatomy and therapy. Quizzing. Okay, the next section is quizzing. I'm not going to take the quiz because I'd fail it in a second, but you may find it helpful. The quiz loads up and you go through various pictures and various parts of the body, and that helps you learn and study for your anatomy and physiology. Clinical subspecialties, if you're somebody who's interested in audiology, speech language pathology, or neuroanatomy of the head and neck, you may want to look at this. So if I clicked on the neuroanatomy of the head and neck, it just takes me in depth into that part of the body so that I can focus on various functions like, the ocular system, the auditory system. So this is a great resource tool for somebody who's wanting to go into those subspecialties. It really zeroes in on these specific areas in the body. Okay, another thing you can do if you don't want to start over here with this series, what you can do if you don't want to go by title, by series, is you can also go to the search bar and just put in what part of the body. So if you're interested in the knee, it's going to search the entire database and find the movies and the 3D videos and the slides of the knees. The thing you want to do, though, is just remember to open it up because it only shows one line here, and then you have to show more. So you have to open these up in order to show more. Otherwise, you're hidden from view. So that's another option for you if you prefer. If you ever get lost in this, you can go to the welcome page. This product is great with tutorials. So you should be able to find tutorials. But like I said, the best way to learn to use Anatomy TV is just to go in and explore in it. Okay, so the next database I'm going to be showing you is a database called Acland. Acland is very good for people studying anatomy and physiology. So if we scroll down on our database list here, we can see Acland's Video Atlas of Human Anatomy. And the nice thing about this is these are videos that are that show real life human specimens, so that it's better for people to be able to see what they're actually going to look at on a cadaver rather than a chart. So we're just going to click on Acland's Video Atlas here. And the first thing I like to do, it says log into my personal account. Now, this is similar to Access Medicine. Create a personal account. Reason being is if you create a personal account, you can use all the features of the database. If you don't create a personal account, you can't use like the exam section, for instance. So I created a personal ID here. Again, it's free, and this is separate from Touro. Okay, I'm logged in now. I already created one. So I am logged in now, so it says welcome in that car here. So I have full access to everything in the database. Now, where do we start here? So we have videos. It's broken down by body part. So for instance, if I want to look at videos about the brain, okay, I'm going to go to head and neck. And it's going to open up the subchapters here. So I'm interested in, let's see, the brain and its surroundings. I'm going to open that up. And these are the videos that are available on the brain. So I'm going to look at, how about the cerebrum? Okay, I'm going to click on that. It's a 4-minute video. I'm going to mute this guy so that we're not listening to him. Okay, and he's going to tour us through the human brain, the cerebrum. Now, over here on the left-hand side, we have subchapters. So, for instance, if I want to look at a certain specific part of the brain, I can look at the corpus callosum from above. I can skip to this area of the video, and it'll take me to that section here, talking about the corpus callosum. So I can skip around in the video using my chapters on the left-hand side. Also down here, if I click here, there's some keywords that are being spoken about in the video. So for instance, if I want more information about the corpus callosum, I can go here to corpus callosum. And what that'll do is it'll search across the database for various videos where the corpus callosum is mentioned. So that's one way. Okay, so that's the video section. It's very straightforward, okay? If you want transcripts, you can do that as well. So if you open up a certain area here, we have the hip flexor, okay? If you want a transcript here, you can click on the transcript, and that'll give you a printout of the video content. Now, the next section that I like to discuss with people is exams. A lot of people find this useful. And again, you do need to be logged into your personal account in order to have exams. So if you click on exams, okay, you have the questions over here and the area of the body. So the head and neck, I'm not really going to do this because I'd fail it, but just to give an example here, you can give yourself a time, set your parameters for how you'd like to start your exam, and then you can start, and you'll be questioned on parts of the body. So that's the exam section here. Glossary. Okay, if you get lost here and you want to brush up on your vocabulary, okay, this is the glossary area in case you want to check your anatomy and physiology terms. And A to Z index, okay, if you want to, look up the corpus callosum, you can go to C and you can look under that for corpus callosum. Click on corpus callosum and it'll take you to the video. Okay, so this is a very simple, straightforward database. I highly recommend it for people who are looking to brush up on their anatomy and physiology. So this is Acland's Video Atlas of Human Anatomy. Play around with it, see if you like it. Okay. Okay, so in this chapter, what I'm going to be showing you are some of the video databases that we have available to you in order to conduct physical examinations or to deepen your knowledge of anatomy and physiology. So the first one I'm going to show you is called Bates. So if you look at your database list here, okay, you can scroll down to Bates, and we have Bates Visual Guide. Now, Bates is a great resource on how to conduct a physical examination. So before I show you the search feature up here, I'm just going to show you these various chapters that are available. So physical examination videos, if you click on that, okay, it'll show you various types of examinations that we have here. So I'm going to choose for our example here today, head-to-toe assessment of an infant. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up a bunch of subchapters here on how to conduct a physical examination of an infant. So if you play the entire thing here, it's about 40 minutes. But let's suppose that I want to focus specifically on the infant's thorax and lungs. Okay, so I'm going to click on thorax and lungs. And what this will do is I'm going to mute this a second here so we don't have to listen. So what this is going to do is it's going to show you how to conduct a physical examination on an infant for their thorax and lungs. And this particular chapter in the video is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so it goes through the various features that you're going to have to perform. So that's physical examination videos, very straightforward. Another example here is the scan. Okay, the scan, it's 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes if you want to play the entire video. Or you can go by chapter. For example here, examining the skin, I'm going to click on that. And on the left-hand side, we have subchapters here for various parts of this chapter of examining the skin. So for instance, if I want to look at cyanosis here, I can click on cyanosis, and this will show me the symptoms of cyanosis and what to look for, or perhaps jaundice. Okay, it'll also show you some clinical pictures here of what jaundice may look like in a patient. So that'll help you in your skills. So that's physical examination, very straightforward, okay, not too complicated. The next section here we have is communication and interpersonal skills. Now these are techniques that you can use to help you build a rapport with patients, how to communicate well with patients, how to listen and receive information. So, for instance here, how to build, let's do building a rapport with newborns and infants, okay? So if we click here, this is going to show us a video on how to improve our skills when we're dealing with a newborn or an infant. He's going to talk about how to speak to a child, how to speak to an infant, how to make them comfortable so that they will allow you to perform the physical examination without too much fuss. So that's the communication and interpersonal skills, kind of a soft skills section, but it is important that you be able to talk to your patients or their parents. So the next portion that we have here is the OSCE clinical skills. So what that is it's going to give you a case study. So for instance, here on the right-hand side here, we have OSCE vomiting. Okay, so what this is the 10-year-old child comes in, complains that he's been vomiting for the past day. So how would you perform an exam on how to diagnose him and how to treat him? So I'm going to click on that video. It's about 24 minutes if I wanted to go through it all. Okay, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to mute it. Now on the left-hand side here are the various subchapters in this video. So for instance, I want to just cut right to the chase and go to the physical examination. I can just click on that chapter and that will open it up. and we'll skip to the point in the video where the physical examination is taking place. So we can scroll through there. You also have a transcript available here on the upper right-hand corner. If you click on transcript, there is a PDF that'll open up that'll walk you through the written presentation. Now, suppose you just want to, suppose you just want to look at skin across the board, infants, children, adults. So let's just see if we click on skin here. So this is going to search across the entire database for videos on skin. So there's 37 of them, so you can go through and see which ones pertain most to you. And you can always load more results. So this is Bates' visual guide, very straightforward. Students like it a lot for if they prefer to see a video example of how a physical examination is done. So at some point in your studies, you're going to be doing research. So you're going to want to find some research articles that you can implement into your work. So I'm going to show you databases that are going to help you in your research to find articles. So the first one I want to show you from your database list here is PubMed. PubMed's a government database. It is free. It's not always the most user-friendly, but the nice thing about it is all the articles in PubMed are peer-reviewed and scholarly. So we're going to click on PubMed and we go here to this homepage here. And this is where we start our search. So I'm going to search for the topic of schizophrenia. That's what I'm going to be doing my research paper on. And I'm going to click on search. Now, we have articles going all the way back to 1921. You probably don't want things that old because you are probably not writing a history paper. So you probably want something a lot more recent. So I'm going to go to 2017 to 2025. Okay, that's going to give me 27,000 articles. That's a nice start, okay? You always, always, always want to have these two boxes clicked, okay? You always want full text and you always want free full text. Reason being that if you don't have full text boxes clicked, what you may get is an abstract, which is a summary of the article, but you can't actually get the article, which students find very frustrating. So always click the full text and that way you can get the full article. You're not going to be limited to just getting abstracts. Okay, so over here, 27,000 articles. It's a lot, but I'm just doing a general search here. So let me go through and see if some of these articles are of interest to me. Okay, so let's try animal models related to schizophrenia. This may be something I find interesting, so I'm going to click on that. And here's where I am. So up here is the citation information, you know, title, author, the journal that it's in. Here's the abstract, which is just a summary of the article. And here are similar articles. Okay, so if this article is not exactly giving me what I want, these are adjacent articles that deal with the same subject that may help me out. So where do I find the actual full text? Okay, so over here on the right, we have what we call full text links, okay, and we have different publishers. Sometimes you'll only have one publisher, sometimes you'll have two, sometimes you'll have three. What are the differences between the publishers? Nothing. It's Pepsi and Coke. They look different, they may be a little different, but they basically give you the same article. So we have two options here. We have Sage Journal, so I can click on that and see if I get the full article here. So here's the abstract, and the article is right below it. Now, I'm going to download this article. See here it says PDF. I always encourage students to download any articles they find to their desktop. Reason being, if you don't want it later on, you can always delete it. I find a lot of students, if they don't download articles, sometimes they want to find the article again, and they go down this huge rabbit hole for hours trying to chase their own tails finding an article that it just would have been easier if they just downloaded it to begin with. They wouldn't have gone on a wild goose chase. So I always tell people just download it, okay? So I'm just going to download my PDF here. Here it is up here, and I'm just going to download it to my home page. Okay. So that's basically how you do an article search. Now, if you want to cite the article, you can do that as well. So the citation, if you want to click on citation here, you can copy the citation. Some of these citation features, some are better than others, but we'll have a chapter about that later in the video. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. Okay, and if you want to see how the other publisher looks here, Again, it's Pepsi and Coke. It will look a little different, but it basically is the same article. You can go over here to download the PDF. Okay, so that is the cut and dry. Okay, now sometimes you're going to encounter something called a paywall. Okay, on PubMed. A paywall is when a publisher wants you to spend money on an article or pay for it. You do not have to do this. Okay, we can get you the article for free if you contact one of our librarians. It may take us a little while, depending on the article. If you give us something from 1993, there's, we're going to have to find a librarian to go in the basement of some library somewhere in the world and dig it up for you. So it may take time. If it's a recent article, sometimes I can get it within an hour. But it's definitely something you want to give us some time to do. So what does a paywall look like? Okay, so if you look at this article here, Exercise as a Treatment of Schizophrenia. Okay, we have the citation information, the abstract. We have two publishers here. Okay, click on the first one. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is a paywall. When you see a $sign, add to cart, it means that they want money to give you this article. Don't do this. Okay, the first thing that you do is go back. Okay, and if there's more than one publisher, see if the second publisher will give it to you. The first one wants money, the second one might not. So maybe the second one will give it to you. And what we see here, PDF, okay, it looks like the second publisher is going to give it to you for free. Okay, so that's your first line of defense when you hit a paywall. Let's see if there's another publisher on the page who will give it to you for free. This guy did. And I always tell people, download the article. So those are the options that you have. If you don't have, if they both want a paywall or you don't have the option, or you just have only one publisher, then contact one of the librarians. We'll see if we can get it to you for free. Now, suppose schizophrenia. We got the 27,000 articles here. That's a lot. So why don't we try to scale this down a bit? What you can do is you can click on Advanced, or you can just go back to PubMed here and click on Advanced. Either way, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to narrow down your search. So let's suppose schizophrenia is a very broad topic, but I'm going to add that to my search. Let's suppose I want to research schizophrenia and psychosis. That's when people who are psychotic or schizophrenic are hearing voices and seeing hallucinations. So I'm going to search for schizophrenia and, here's the and word here, and psychosis. So it's going to search for articles with those two terms together. Now, let's suppose I want to add another layer. How about cannabis? How does cannabis use affect psychosis and schizophrenia? So I'm going to search, they're going to search for articles with these three topics in them, okay, together. So let's click search. Okay, I have 464 articles, a good start, okay. I have stuff going from 1993 to 2024. 1993 is a little old, so I'm going to advance myself here to 2017. Now I'm down to 299 articles. Over here, always have free full text and full text checked off here. Okay, and I have some nice options here. Okay, so I am going to, let's try this one. Cannabis, psychosis, and schizophrenia. Okay. And here's the abstract here. I read it. I like it. It's a good summary. And I have two publishers who may give it to me for free. One may ask for a paywall. Let's see what happens. Okay, we'll try the first one. Okay, here's the abstract. Here's PDF. Click on PDF. Okay, we've hit a paywall. Okay, so now that we've hit a paywall, let's see if the second one will give it to us for free. Okay, so publisher number 1 is no good. So let's try publisher number 2. White Rose, let's see if they give it to us for free. Click to download. Let's see if we're in luck. Okay, and it looks like they did. Okay, so we are in luck, so we just download this to our desktop. Okay, so That is how we get around a paywall. If neither of those paywalls work, if neither of those options worked out for you, or they both had a paywall, just contact one of the librarians in New York and we'll see if we can get you an interlibrary loan. Okay, so that is the basics of PubMed. Another database that I'm going to show you that is very good for researching articles is, if you go to H here, we have Health and Medical Collection Proquest. This is a nice comprehensive database for beginners. Now, it works the same way PubMed works. It looks a little different. Again, a lot of these different companies, different publishers, Pepsi and Coke, they look different, but they do a lot of the same things. So with Proquest, not all the articles are peer-reviewed. So you do have to choose full text always, and you always have to choose peer-reviewed because you want scholarly articles. You don't want articles written by journalists in, the Wall Street Journal or Time Magazine. You're looking for scholarly articles that are written by scientists and doctors who are doing research experiments. So let's do, okay, so again, schizophrenia was our topic. Okay, let's do that. And I have a lot of articles, almost 170,000 articles. That's a lot. Okay, I have stuff going all the way back to 1928. Again, I'm not writing a history paper. If I was, I could use that, but I'm going to be advancing myself a little bit here. So I'm going to go to 2010. Update that. And okay, so that knocked it down a little bit to 128,000 articles. Okay, again, a little bit much, but okay, so let's, I'm just going to look at some of these briefly. Let's see, use of antipsychotic medication. Here we can click on this, and it looks the same as PubMed. Okay, up here, you're going to have your abstract information here. You're going to have your citation information up here, who the article is written by, what the title is, when it was published, and then the full text is going to be on the page. Okay, so I always like to do PDF full text. Okay, so there's PDF full text over here. There's also download PDF over here. So I'm going to click on download PDF full text. It's going to ask me, I'm just going to put it on my desktop, save, and it's saving to my desktop. Again, download everything to your desktop. You can always delete it later if you don't want it. Another nice feature about this is you can get citation information. We're going to have a chapter on that later in the video, but if you're using Health and Medical Collection, if you click on Cite over here, it'll ask you what citation you're using. So usually you're going to probably be using APA. So currently we have APA 7. You click on APA 7, and what you can do, it creates the citation for you for your reference page. So you just copy and paste that into your reference page. And that is how you would do a citation. Okay, so how do we narrow this down? That's the next topic. Schizophrenia, like we said before, it's a very wide topic. So you can either go to modify search here, or you can go back to Health and Medical Collection. Either way, you want to get to advanced search. Basic search is just going to do, one word. Advanced search is going to break down the search into these boxes that can help you add more layers to your search. So you can always add more topics or take more topics away. So again, we're doing schizophrenia. Okay, psychosis was what I was researching. And then we are going to look at cannabis and its role in psychosis and schizophrenia. Always have full text highlighted, always have peer review checked. I can also put my publication date in here if I want to, or I can just use the slide bar on the next page. So we're going to go here. We have, 5,500 articles. Not bad. Articles going back to 1977. So it's a little old. I want stuff, let's see, update it to the past. How many years is this? 2020. Okay. And so again, I can read some of my titles here and see if there's anything that interests me. Okay, let's see here. This sounds like something interesting I may be interested in. I'm going to click on the title. Again, up here's the citation information. And here's the abstract. If it sounds like something interesting, I can go to the PDF here, or I can download over here. Just download your PDF to your desktop. That's taken care of. And if I want to cite it, I can click on citation here. Again, you're probably going to use APA 7. or the current APA, whatever it may be in the future, and just copy and paste that into your reference page if you use the article. You can also copy links if there's somebody who likes to use a permalink or print it. That's your other option here. So those are two databases that you can use for article research. There are many more, but I don't want to overwhelm you. If you need any more help, just contact us and we'll be able to help you find out where you can start your research. Okay. Okay, so at this point in the database list, what I'm going to show you are ebooks. Okay, so we already looked at Access Medicine. They had a lot of ebooks in there for us to use, but there are two other sources here on the resource list that can help you if you're not finding what you want in Access Medicine. So if you scroll down here and just go to ebooks, okay, we have two here. We have Ebook Central Proquest and we have Ebook EBSCO. Okay. So these are not as specifically medically oriented as Access Medicine, but if you're doing a project or looking for something that's a bit more broad, these can help you out. Okay, so Ebook Central here, ProQuest has about 300,000 books, so it covers a lot of areas. So let's suppose here, I'm going to be doing, my subject is going to be on schizophrenia, okay? I look over here, I have 24,000 books or book chapters that relate to schizophrenia. Okay, so if I go through here, what I can do is I'm just going to click on the first one just to make an example here. Okay, we open the book up. Now over here on the left-hand side is the picture. We can permalink the book. We can also cite the book. Okay, so if you click on cite here and you choose your citation, it's probably going to be APA. You can copy and paste this into your book, into your reference list for your citations. Okay, on the right-hand side here is some of the details if you want to know when it was published. It was 2014, who the publisher is, the edition. Okay, that's all very nice and well, but where's the information for the book? So here under the description, which is a synopsis of the book, we have the table of contents, which opens up. And these are the various chapters, okay? So first psychotic episode, we can open that up. And if you notice here, the full text opens up, and on the left-hand side is the table of contents, okay? So we can read through chapter by chapter. We can also go to the index here and look up certain specific topics we want to know about. So if we want to learn about haloperidol, okay, that's an antipsychotic here. We can go to the H here, haloperidol, right here, and it'll give us the page. We can also look up, search within the book, okay? So if we don't want to go through the index, okay, we can go over here and search within the book. What this will do is it'll highlight all the words in the book that you're looking for and take you to those chapters. So for instance, I'm going to use clozapine. That's another antipsychotic. Okay, so what it did is it scanned through the book and looked for all the chapters in the book and anywhere where the word clozapine appears and highlights them for you so that you can open it up. So here we go. On page 8, they mention clozapine, and you can go through that way as well. Okay, so this is Ebook Central by Proquest. Now, people ask me, can I print the entire book out? No, you can't do that. That's a copyright violation. People also ask me if I can download the entire book. You can download it, you can check it out maybe for 21 days, but no, you can't download the book and keep it. You can't print out the entire book and keep it. That's a copyright violation. So up here that shows you how much you can print out legally without running into problems with copyright restrictions. Another thing you're going to notice here is availability. Sometimes our institution has unlimited access to this particular book, but sometimes you'll have a book where only one person can use it at a time. So it's like a book on the shelf. If somebody has it checked out, you're not going to be able to use it while they're using it. But this particular book here, we have unlimited access. So that is Proquest Ebook Central. I'm going to go back here to the database list here, and I'm going to go to the second one, which was Ebook EBSCO ebooks. Okay, now this is a smaller database. This database only has 12,000 books in it. as opposed to 300,000, but you may be able to find something in there that you're interested in. Okay, it looks a little different than Proquest, but it does the same thing. So if we click on EBSCO ebook, it's going to look like this. And again, my topic that I'm going to be researching is schizophrenia. And again, it's a smaller database, so I only have 27 books on this topic here. So I'm just going to look at the first one. This book here, I'm going to open up Recent Advances in Diagnosis and Treatment. Okay, so we have the synopsis here. We have all the citation information. And the actual book itself is right underneath here. Table of contents, we can open it up. We can read that way. We can go to the index. And again, once you do that, it's going to open up the full text here. And on the left-hand side will be chapters. So for instance, if you're looking for, again, you're looking for clozapine, okay, antipsychotic clozapine. Okay, these are the pages that it appears on. You can also search within the book over here. So you see search within. Okay, and I'm going to do risperidone. Okay, that's another antipsychotic that's injectable, long-acting, lasts 30 days. You can tell I grew up with someone with schizophrenia. So, okay, so risperidone, there's 94 mentions of it in the book. So you can go through page by page and how they talk about, there we go, long-acting injectables. So it's an antipsychotic that could be injected for up to 4 weeks. So you can go through the book that way using search within. So again, these aren't as medically focused as Access Medicine. They're probably not as technique as you need, but it's a good backup method in case you're not finding what you want on Access Medicine. You can look for topics in these ebooks that are a little bit more broad.
Hey everyone, I'm Christine Letty from Touro University's Health Sciences Library. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about citing your sources for your research papers. It's very important to remember to cite anything you're using for your research, anything you're referencing or summarizing, quoting, paraphrasing. You need to give proper credit to the authors for the material you're borrowing from them and avoid plagiarism. So we're going to go over 2 easy ways to generate your citations. The first way is when you're finding a journal article from within a database. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for that. Okay. So, I performed a search for diabetes within Health and Medical Collection. I limited to full text, peer-reviewed, last 12 months, and I received very many results. I went through them all, and I decided I would like to use the top 3 articles for my research paper. So I went ahead and clicked them, and now I'm going to click this circle cite button with the quotation marks. And it generated my citations for me. It pasted them all into this box. The only thing you have to remember is to click the drop down for the style you're using. I'm going to select APA 7th. That's most likely what you're going to be instructed to use. So that's what it's going to set it at. And I'm going to click copy. And now it's on my clipboard. I need to paste it into my paper on the references page. I have a tab open with my references page all set up. So I recommend you do that. And then this way you could toggle back and forth between the 2 tabs to easily paste them in. So here they are. They're even formatted with a hanging in notation, which is perfect. The only thing you need to keep in mind is you always have to proofread and check for formatting accuracy. I always recommend Purdue OWL for checking your citations. So that's the online writing lab. So I recommend you also keep a tab open for that. Again, you toggle back and forth to check your citations. So just for a brief overview, if you go to Purdue University, you can see owl.purdue.edu. I'm going to select the APA guide. And then you can scroll down to see your options for formatting. So for your reference list, here's if you're formatting a book. I'm going to select, so let me close this. I'm going to select electronic sources since we're using a journal article from an online database. And then if you scroll down, you can see here's formatting for a Wikipedia article or online scholarly journal article. And that's what we're using. And it actually gives you options with the DOI assigned or without any DOI. So you can see last name, year, in parentheses, title, then periodical in italics. You can see the spacing, where there should, how the punctuation should appear. So, and then they give you an example of a particular item using this template. So that's what you're going to do to proofread yours. I would like to show you also, you can, for generating your in-text citations, you can also use the online writing lab to, refer to, and it'll, very easily explain to you. So in-text citations, author. So your in-text citations typically include author's name, year, maybe page number, depending on how you're setting it up within the body of your paper. So this is just, a work by one author, a work by two authors, and it very easily shows you how to properly set up your in-text citation. So that should be helpful for you as well. You can also use this online writing lab to, see a sample paper. Let's see if I go back. You can look at general format. So that's setting up your paper. So for, the rules for spacing and what your, title page, how that should be formatted, the body of your paper, your references page. And then you can also view all of that in the APA sample paper. So I always like to, compare my finished paper with the sample and just make sure it looks like it's all formatted great. So that's there for you as a reference. Another way I would like to show you to create your in-text citations is, say somebody, you're not in a database, your article was maybe previously saved to your computer, or somebody emailed you an excellent article you'd like to use, and you want to easily generate your citation for that. So I saved one to my desktop. Let's see, well, I have a tab open for it. Let's see where it is. Okay, so this is the article that I want to use for this paper as well. If I highlight the title, I'll copy that text, then I can use Google Scholar to plug in that title. I'm just going to paste it in, hit the search box. So Google Scholar, you can just Google Scholar, or you can go to scholar.google.com, and it could be another great resource for citing. So you plug in the title of your book or your article, and this is what I plugged in, and then it's got this little cite option right here. You click it, and then it brings up the citations formatted, and then you just select which style you're using. We're using APA, so I'm going to copy. I'm going back to my research paper. I'm going to add that in on my references page, and there it is. So again, we have to proofread it and we have to properly format it. So this one did not create the hanging indentation. It's very easy to do. You highlight whatever needs to have that hanging indentation, format. Let's see, line and indentation options. I'm going to go down to special indent, click that drop down and make it hanging. 0.5. Apply. And now it created the hanging indentation. And again, I have to go back and proofread it. When I'm all done, I have to format this whole page so everything's even and spaced properly. And that's it. So these were just 2 easy ways to generate your citations. And good luck with your research. Have a great day.